Sony has been pretty tight-lipped about a lot of the features and things behind the scenes when it comes to their next-generation console, the PlayStation 5. This should come as no real surprise because Sony's always been this way, and they've been able to kind of stage off a lot of leaks and things like that. Sort of a stark contrast to how Microsoft is doing things, but things are often going to come out, and that's the case here. Again, I feel like this is definitely a good thing, and also a proactive thing with the way Sony has kind of gone after Microsoft, despite the fact that Microsoft continually says that Sony is no real threat to them and they're not in competition with Sony. So it is nice to see that, you know, Sony is still definitely 100% looking at Microsoft as competition, and we continually see that, and we're going to continue to see that as it should be. You know, the minute we lose that competition, that competitive edge, I think that's when things in the console world kind of fall apart, and I'm not looking forward to that. So this should be a pretty good video, and I'm looking forward to doing it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. You know, a lot of people ask how you can support a small channel like mine. Well, I think that the best thing you can do is just a simple like. You can also take a minute to you know, consider subscribing, or at the very least, you know, hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops. That would be pretty incredible as well, and I really do appreciate it. So with that being said, you know, Sony has done a very good job of sort of getting people excited for their next gen console. We keep hearing about the different features and things like that. We know how immersive this thing's going to be. We know how incredible the games are going to be. We saw Ratchet and Clank again. It really does look like that's like a next gen leap, in my opinion, and that's what I was looking for, especially when you hear a lot of people say that usually in the first couple of years there's no real next gen looking games, or they're not really taking advantage of it. It looks like Sony's developers are fully taking advantage of what's coming next generation, and that's a very exciting thing. I just have to be honest about it. You know, it's just, to me, it's one of those things where, you know, you just kind of look at things and you go, well, what's going on that side of the on that side of the grass, you know? Like, just looking at the way that Sony and Microsoft both handle things a little bit differently than each other, I just find that to be very, very interesting. Sometimes a little bit odd. Like, I do wish that, you know, Sony and Microsoft would handle things a little bit differently, but it still is incredibly fun to sort of look back and see how these consoles are stacking up against one another, and see how, like, the fans on both sides of the fence, how they kind of look at these things and go, well, you know, PlayStation 5 is good, and, you know, Xbox Series X is good, and it really just comes down to the games. Well, Sony really came after Microsoft. They come out with a new commercial. It's breathtaking immersion PS5 advertisement, showcasing the solid state drive, 3D audio, and the DualSense controller feature. This is brand new, by the way. It's called breathtaking immersion, and they really do a good job of showcasing everything that the PlayStation 5 has going for it. It's not a huge advertisement or anything like that, but it is being played everywhere. You know, it's been played at, you know, TV, YouTube, pretty much everywhere, Twitter, any place that you can see some of these things. And I think that that's a big props to Sony for the way that they've been able to sort of come out there and sort of go after Microsoft with not only just this, but a lot of the other features and things, like saying, hey, we're definitely believe in generations, and we want you to understand that we're creating games that can't be done on the previous generation hardware. That's the whole reason why you're going to upgrade and buy our PlayStation 5. And I absolutely love that, because it's like right in Microsoft's face. And they just realistically did a really good job with this, and I'm surprised at how good a job they've done with it, given current circumstances of the world. You know, there's also been, you know, a few rumors going around that maybe the PlayStation 5 might not launch worldwide at the same time, because it said like something about North America this holiday, and then the rest of the world late 2020. So it might be a situation where us in North America get it a little bit earlier than some other people, but that's not really neither here nor there. But what did come out also was they made it clear that the PS5 Zen CPU is something of a beast, and now how much of a improvement is it for developers? Well, there's a new comparison chart that I can link you guys to, and the actual Zen 2 technology is benchmarked at nearly 6 times faster than the PS4 Pro Jaguar CPU. So it's quite a bit faster, and it should help alleviate some of these bottlenecks that we've actually seen quite a bit of. So first is the follow. There was actually a post that was showcasing this, which compares the PS4 scores against the Zen 2 Core's equivalent that will be featured in the PlayStation 5. There's a huge difference in performance of the PS4's architecture with that of what Sony's next generation console will actually utilize. We're still going to have to wait for the full technical specifications and the breakdown of the PlayStation 5, but it does look like indeed right now Sony knows exactly what they're doing, and they went all out with their next generation CPU. And again, I think Microsoft did a good job too with what they were able to put out there and what they were able to accomplish and things like that. I just feel like Sony also kind of has the whole idea that you need games. That's to be honest with you, that's the thing that I feel like is the key component to what Sony is doing better than what Microsoft is doing, and that's also something that I feel like a lot of people are going to probably kind of take advantage of in the future as well. So I do really think that we're in for quite a ride next generation. And again, I'm not oblivious. I saw a lot of what we saw yesterday with like the PC hardware and stuff like that. The only thing that did for me, like I'm not a PC gamer, so I'm never going to game on PC, so it doesn't really mean anything to me. But the only thing that really means to me is that perhaps we're going to get these consoles coming in a little bit cheaper than what people thought. A lot of people that were saying these things were going to be $600 and things like that. I honestly don't think so. We were looking at a situation where next generation consoles were going to, they were going to, be above what PCs were at the time, and that's already not the case before these things even launch. So that's a good thing in my opinion. We're going to get powerful consoles. Never mind. I mean, you have to keep in mind, even though like say one card might be $500, there's a lot more to a PC than that, and you're going to get a whole box with a controller and everything for that price when it comes to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So I still think that there's an incredible value there, and they're worth it for sure. You know what I mean? But I think that the days of people arguing about T-flops and stuff like that are long over, especially for us console people. But again, that's really up to the person and the individual and what you want to do. I'm not a PC guy, but I do think that the way that Sony has gone about things this generation has been pretty cool. I really enjoy the fact that they were out there sort of taking these shots at Microsoft, saying, hey, we've got all these great games. We're going to really have some immersion for you. We believe in generations, and now we're kind of serving you these facts. And I thought that was something that was really pretty incredible for them to be able to do. And I got to say that as far as I can tell, Sony has really more on the offensive than the defensive lately, and I think that makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, Sony is the clear winner of this generation. I mean, if you think about it, they've had 4 consoles out so far, and 3 out of the 4 they've won. And the one that they lost, they stormed back and realistically came out of nowhere and came back and beat the Xbox 360. I mean, they lost out to the Wii, but who would have suspected that the Wii would have come out like that and done such a fantastic job like that of getting a casual gamer involved in gaming? But the problem with getting casual gamers on board with you is that they don't really buy software. So that was a real problem for Nintendo, and I can imagine that, if you're selling a bunch of consoles and they're just in somebody's closet or shelf or whatever, that's not what they want them there for, because they don't really make the money on the hardware. It's the software. So, I'm sure that Sony has a lot of big plans going forward with next generation, and I'm excited to see exactly what we have in store and when we're going to get some of these games. I'm looking forward to the announcements of the games and these exclusives when they're actually going to be available. So if you think about it, I would assume that stuff like Ratchet and Clank could be as early as March 2021. I know it's not going to be a launch game per se. I'm sure they were aiming for that, but then you have like the extenuating circumstances that have come up, and of course we're going to have to deal with that as well. And Microsoft has to deal with that as well. That's a negative situation, and the fact that we're getting indie games at all still in these times is just absolutely unbelievable for me. So it is nice that Sony's out there saying, hey, we've got this CPU upgrade. It's not going to be a bottleneck anymore. We've got games. We've got all this immersive stuff. And then you look on the Xbox side and they're like, well, if you buy an Xbox Series X, you can play our old games, and for me that doesn't really compute well with how that console is going to do. I just really feel like they've kind of put themselves in a not so great situation. But with that being said, I would absolutely love all your thoughts and opinions on this. I will link these articles, of course, so you can check them out for yourselves and let me know. I've been enjoying the feedback of the channel. I've also enjoyed the back and forth with a lot of you off of PSN lately. My PSN is Crapgamer. Xbox Live is MOH, like Medal of Honor, space Crapgamer. Twitter at @the_Crapgamer. And I respond to everybody. Just, sometimes on Twitter I don't see your tweets because you're maybe not verified or whatever through an email, and that really cuts down on a lot of the spam and stuff like that. So, it's just one of those things where hopefully you guys enjoy the interactions. I know I've been enjoying it. Now back to the Avengers for me. I'm enjoying that game. Hopefully you guys all have a great day. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Game on, my friends. Game on. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.